What's going on, everyone? Gilman with Wellthy Stocks back with another Moderna update video. It's a super exciting one. I love making these when we're up almost 5% on the day. So we'll take a look at how the stock was trading. We'll take a look at future levels of support and resistance, and we will take a look at some key pieces of news that came out. But real quick, before we do that, hit that like button down below, subscribe to my channel if you enjoy these videos. It really helps me out as I'm trying to grow, and it recommends videos to other people that are searching up Moderna, so I really appreciate your help with that. Let me hit record and we will get right into it. So another, like I said, great green day for Moderna. We are up $5.66 on the day, 4.56%. This rebound from the low of 102 that we saw just 2 weeks ago, right? It hasn't even been that long. If someone bought in near the 102, 105 level, they're up more than 20% on their trade already. So congrats if you got in at that price. Let's take a look at some news this week, right? And we will get kind of right into it. So, we talked about some Swiss approvals earlier this week. We talked about kind of their future plans with the flu-like vaccine that they're doing, or the flu vaccine that they're trying to get into, the other vaccine they're getting into too. As well. And then, another piece of news that came out today is that they are testing for booster shots a year after initial vaccination. So as of right now, Moderna's CEO thinks that COVID is going to be around forever, which doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be as bad or as lethal as it is today, right? Once we get herd immunity, whether that's through enough people getting vaccinated or enough people getting the virus, but more likely, a good combination of both, that's when we get this herd immunity level, and we can live our lives relatively normally, even with COVID being among us, right? So that's something that, the Moderna CEO said. So they came out with this plan to test booster shot of its COVID-19 vaccine a year after the initial 2-dose immunization, as the duration of protection from the new vaccines is still unclear, right? So we don't have enough data to really say, okay, yeah, these vaccines work for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. So we're assuming a year, and then we're going to see with, booster shots from that point on. Great news for Moderna, right? Because if this does end up happening, let's say the vaccine lasts a year, well, booster shots are some way that they can continue to get revenue off of the COVID situation we have here. But also if they're moving into flu, that's kind of double dipping, which I think could be good for Moderna. Like they said, this could become a market like the flu. So we'll kind of see how that goes. But the market reacted really nicely. What's crazy is I had a vertical put spread put on initially expiring tomorrow, January 15th, whereas I was kind of betting on the stock to be above 130, but then this fall started happening. And I cut my losses kind of sticking to my plan. But it's crazy that if I hadn't, and if I had held on, I would have been profitable today, or maybe profitable today. But make sure to stick to my plan, continue to hold my shares, because I did believe it was going to turn out long term sometime in the first half of Q1 or first half of 2021. Didn't expect it to be this fast, so it's really exciting to see. I continue to hold my shares. Like I said, I'm hoping for a push towards 145 at the least. At that point, I'll kind of figure out what I want to do with them, because basically depending on how it acts at that level and what I think the upside of the stock is at that point. So a little bit to go still, but really excited to see approaching that 130 level. So let's get right into the analysis, you guys, and we'll kind of see. So yesterday we were at kind of the 120s, mid 120s is where we ended, but we did set a high of 127.58. So that was the first kind of level that I was watching out for, to see if we can push up, if we could break that level, right? Yesterday I talked about, hey, we've gone up for a couple days now, we could take a little breather, but no, Moderna wants to keep going. So we are happy with that, right? So it pushed up, and for a lot of the day, it looked like it was going to be a pretty calm day, right? In the mid 124s, looked like it was going to be kind of a day of consolidation. And then we saw this push kind of in the second half of the day, and that push got us to 129.37. And then we saw a little bit of a break, and then we saw another kind of end of day push, 131, before ending right below 130. But we are up to $130.45 in the after hours, right? So great move from Moderna, but what we like looking at is this line that I've continued to draw. So for those of you that have been watching my videos for a while, we've been making kind of update videos on this, and initially we were talking about the downtrend we were in. I think I started making videos kind of here. Every day was, you know, making lower highs, and it was getting frustrating, and I was talking to a lot of you guys that were holding, and it was just kind of sad news all around. But then we saw on 12/31 it started to turn around, and then on the fourth day, you know, I kind of drew this line, and I talked about, hey, we need to make sure that we hold this bottom line, because that kind of signifies for us that there is a little bit of a trend reversal, that we are making higher lows every single day, which means we are starting to push up. And that's exactly what we saw. The last time that we sort of tested it was this right here, but as you can see, we continued to push up. So that's great news for the stock. I am again gonna kind of draw this line out a couple more days to see if we can hold that line. It's not as crucial for the stock to hold it now. The reason being, you know, we've gone up, like I said at the beginning of the video, we've gone up from the low 100s. If someone bought in at 100 and it's at 129, you know, we could see a little bit of profit taking. We could see a little breather here for a day or two, maybe even a little bit longer before it starts to kind of consolidate and then push up. So nothing to be afraid of if we do see that. It's actually healthy for the stock to do that, right? You can't just, I mean, think of someone who just keeps running forever, right? If you take a break and you get that energy back, you can run again and hopefully run farther than you did before. So hoping for this line to hold, right? But I would not be surprised, again, not saying it's going to happen tomorrow, right? I said this yesterday as well, and it didn't happen today, and I'm totally fine with that. I'm just pointing out the possibility of a little bit of consolidation happening because we've gone up more than 25% or so in the past kind of 2 weeks, right? So a little bit of profit taking is healthy for the stock. So if we do see a little bit of profit taking, I could see it kind of settling down near the 130s range, or maybe dropping down to 125 and kind of taking a little bit of time. That being said, it could keep pushing up, right? That's always a possibility. But, you know, a little bit of a pullback. Again, if you're in the long term, that shouldn't worry you. But just wanted to point that out there. Now, from a level of support, what are the levels that I'm looking at? Well, I am looking for us to, you know, maintain above these EMAs and use these EMAs as a line of support. Now that we have had a couple great green days, right, those EMAs take a little bit of time to catch up, so we're nicely above them. So the first one that we have, right, these are your levels of support, 122.22 with the 21 EMA. Then we've got the 8 EMA coming in at 121.31. Then we've got the 120.44 at the 34 EMA, right? So those three are kind of really bunched together. I just said 122.22, 121.31, 120.44 is all within like 90 cents of each other. So one of those hopefully holds, but that's all the way at the low 20s. And then if we keep dropping, we have this 55 EMA line that held up, you know, kind of for us in those 3 days back then. That's all the way down at 112. Hopefully we don't see that line again, right? Or if we do see it, it's, you know, way down the line when the stock's up nicely and we're just pulling back. But other than that, I'm hoping to find support kind of in the mid 120s. If we do drop 125 as a mental level of support, if not, then these low 120 lines should hold this support as well. And then we'll keep an eye out on this line. So tomorrow, hopefully we don't drop below 122 and this line is still valid for us. So I think, you know, great things for Moderna, great news for Moderna this week, which kind of really helped push it up. Would love to see the stock make a push towards 125. I was hoping for that to happen sometime in the first half. If it happens in the first month of 2021, even better, right? And then we'll kind of take a look on what the future could look like. So again, low 120 support, this line support, push up. I'm hoping for the next level to kind of be in the mid 130s. As the next kind of leg up, and then eventually push towards 145. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below what your thoughts on Moderna are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day, and until next time.